All right, malfunction fixes. We're going to show you one malfunction fix to fix your double feeds, your bolt overrides, brass over bolt, whatever you want to call it, charging handle impingement. It's all the same malfunction fix, and this is how we do it. So we'll start off with a double feed, and I'm going to show you how to set up all these in case you want to practice at the range. Double feed is super easy. You're simply going to cover the ejection port with your thumb or your palm. I like to use my thumb. Pull the bolt back easy, send it around into the chamber. Now we're going to send another one in right on top of it. If that one pops out, push it back in. That's it. We set up double feed, super easy. Easier if you lay the gun flat, but I'm trying to show you guys on camera. So first telltale sign, I go up, I go to shoot, and I get a mushy trigger. All right, I don't get a click. If I got a click, it's simply a failure to fire. It's just a tap, rack, and you're back in action. But mushy trigger, oh shit, I look, I see brass and my bolt's not forward. That is bad. First thing we're gonna do is we're going to lock the bolt back, push it forward if it will go all the way forward. In some cases it will not, don't worry about it. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rip that magazine out. Now you saw stuff fall out, that probably fixed it, but I'm not quite sure. So if it's dark, I'm gonna stick my fingers in the magazine well, make sure I don't feel any obstructions. I'm gonna cycle that action a few times, reinsert, recycle it, and bring it up and shoot. Super easy. Now, we're gonna go over that one more time. All right, we'll set that up again, and I just wanna go over one thing with you, all right? So super easy, we set up that double feed again. So I see a lot of guys will rip the magazine out, and then they'll go to lock the bolt back. Now you're messing with stuff with a magazine in your hand, trying to lock stuff back. Why do you do that? Leave that in the gun. Leave it in there. Lock the bolt back first. It's a lot easier. Then rip the magazine out. Stuff will probably fall out anyway. Finger blast it if you have to. Cycle, cycle, cycle. Reinsert, recycle, and go. Super, super easy. Now it's the same malfunction fix for the bolt override, brass over bolt, or the charging handle impingement. So let's show you guys what those look like. All right, so for the brass over bolt, bolt override, whatever you want to call it, that one's super easy. Again, your bolt is locked back. You just drop around in and you drop it in the slot, your charging handle slot. That's it. Then send the bolt forward. That's it. Now you got a brass over bolt. All right. All right, so next is the brass over bolt, bolt override, whatever you want to call it. You'll notice the bolt is halfway closed, but you don't see any brass. But if you look up top, you will see there is a round above the bolt. We're going to go through it the same way, right? We're going to lock the bolt back. Now you'll notice the charging handle will only come back a little bit. That's it. It's locked back. Push the charging handle forward, it locks back. That's a good sign. Next thing I'm going to do is not choke myself. Next thing I do is rip the magazine out, right? If it's dark out, I'm going to finger fuck the magazine well. Cycle, cycle, cycle. Reinsert, recycle, and shoot. All right, so I'll try to show you this as best I can. And thank you to Dan from 360 Precision for making me this custom rifle. If you guys are looking for an AR or a precision rifle, Dan is the man, and he's doing pistols now too. He's over in Warminster, PA. Give him a shout, 360 Precision Rifle. So super, super awesome. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna set up that bolt, charging handle impingement. Super easy. I just push one end against the charging handle and the other end is against the bolt face, send the bolt forward, and that's it. That's how you set that up. Super easy. All right, next up is the charging handle impingement. That's a fun word to say, impingement. All right, so you'll notice the brass right there. The front of the round is actually on the charging handle, and the rear of the round is pushing against the bolt face. So again, when I go to pull the, lock the bolt back, the charging handle only goes back a little bit, but notice the bolt is all the way in there again. So that's full lock back. Now notice when I push the charging handle forward, what happened? That round is already cleared, right? So now when I rip the magazine out, everything falls out, all right? Guys get hung up on that one for some reason. I think it's because the feel, when they go to lock the bolt back, it only moves an inch. But that's it. Now you know why it only moves an inch. Because that round is acting as basically a spacer. All right, so we'll do the same thing. We're going to finger blast it if we have to. We're going to cycle, cycle, cycle. We're going to reinsert. We're going to recycle. And then we're going to shoot. Super easy. So all those malfunction fixes you fix the same way. All right. Like we said, failure to fire, you're just going to get a click. Trigger's going to feel completely different. Let's just do that one. All right, I got a couple of rounds left. So let's eject that one out. That one's a setup. You just insert a magazine on a closed bolt. All right, we're going to bring your rifle up. We're going to get a click. Oh shit. You don't even have to look because you got a click. So you know the trigger was reset and the bolt is forward. It's just a tap rack. You probably forgot to put one in the chamber. And we got lockback, and let's get rid of that. We're empty. So super easy. Don't skip a step. They're all there for a reason. Don't do different malfunction fixes for different malfunctions. You're not going to know. You're going to look. You may see brass. You may not. You're going to waste time. You're going to try to fix it some crazy way you saw on the internet. And that's not going to work because it's the wrong malfunction. Just do this the same way every time. Don't skip a step. All right, so what do you got? Lock the bolt back. Rip the magazine out. Stick your fingers in there if you have to. Cycle, cycle, cycle. Reinsert the magazine. Recycle, shoot. Done. Super easy. Don't make it more complicated than it has to be.
Barry Production.